the US, the Soviet Union side that wasn't really developed. I'm sure about that because they had a system at the time. I don't know if you can call it communism. I think it was communism because at the time there were many countries in Africa who were into communism. Remember that at the time of communism, there were many African countries who have communism. I don't know. It's difficult to meet because there are so many movements at the time. You have communism, you have Marxism, and I don't know because we had some African leaders who were Marxist. Okay, and you can understand that what they were. Okay, I don't want to get into detail of that, but communism was in Africa. Most of the figures in communism were in Africa were dictatorial system. Okay, I'm talking for fact. I grew up in a system dictatorial, and I understand what it is when people talk about dictatorial. Like I remember back in the days, we had to go. I mean, my older siblings at the time, I remember they had to go work to salute the nation or the president. I don't remember, but the president was like the Almighty. It wasn't only us. There were many countries in Africa who were under this system of communism in a way. So you can always correct me if I'm wrong, but we have the dictatorial system, and it wasn't only in Africa. I think in these countries in East Europe and parts like that, they had this kind of system as well. That's why later on, when Berlin Wall fell, were broken, when they told at the time the president in 1989, the president of the U.S. Union, the Soviet Union at the time was because there were three names that you always heard on TV every time. Three names. If I'm not wrong, there were three names that you will often hear: Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, Yuri Gorbachev. If I'm not wrong, okay? So when was the time to, when the war there was a time that the desire of the freedom was really strong. And then you saw the iconic picture and video when you see the German people breaking the wall. And I think what I read later on is like Margaret Thatcher, I don't know who was at the time, told Yuri Gorbachev to finish this war. But the war at the time, the wall of shame, marked a time also later on of Cold War. If I'm not wrong, people, please, you can always call me on that. But the same wall of shame that humiliated Germany was the same wall who was symbolic later on, the Berlin Wall, when it fell. It was now the beginning of a new era in the world. The new era was what? The fall of dictatorial system in the world. Because at the time, there were a wing of freedom, and that freedom came down to Africa in 1990, and you have several national conferences where the African president had to accept it was time for multipartism and democracy, if I'm not wrong. So the same war that wanted to shame Germany was now a symbol of freedom and victory in the world. Okay, but what is really special is after all this pressure that Germany went through, humiliation that they went through, they took full responsibility and they took full accountability and responsibility for what happened. And what happened to Germany later on. Now, if it was no longer Federal Republic of Germany and Democratic Republic of Germany, it was now Germany only, fusion, okay? But that country became powerful economically. When you remember in the 90s, Germany became very little, but it was now rising. It became a powerful economy, prosperous economy, okay? Prosperous economy. Germany on its own became a powerful country later on. Germany that people were talking at the time after the war, who was now rejected, and everywhere all the world could say, oh, you did this, you did this, you did that. They say, okay, we did all that, okay, we did wrong, okay? But Germany didn't stop there. The resilience, they forgave themselves, and they forgave all this judgment on them. They stood up again, they united, the love, they moved forward, and they became who they are today. You look Germany today, you look when they became even military spoken. The same Germany that France didn't like before, later on France and Germany shook their hands, okay, with respect. United States respect Germany, France respect Germany, okay, all these countries in Europe respect Germany today, okay? I mean, it's been a time now. Germany, I think, it is a member of the European Union. Germany, how do I say that again? I don't know if it's a member of the NATO, I don't know, but Germany has a saying, okay? It is not any country. Germany that people didn't like after the war, okay? People are learning Germany. People now start learning this language, okay? Because the power. Germany, people want to play in soccer team, German soccer. People want to play in Germany's soccer teams. People rushing, fighting to enter Germany, to go live there and to ask for their citizenship. This is not extraordinary for a country that has been knocked down after the war, punished after the war, humiliated after the war. What I want to show you is like, I don't know if you understand what I want to go, okay? We like to complain. We like to say we are victims every time. But look, I don't say Germany is perfect, but look, just look, with all that they went through, okay, with what they went through, it didn't stop them there. They forgave, they move on. You forgive, you don't forget. That's why you have museum, okay? You see some people complaining, oh, they're racist, but they go. You have people fighting to enter to live in Germany, okay? They fight to enter to live in Germany. They fight to get German citizenship. You are complaining when you have the complete story, history of a country, sweat, blood, tears. They give it to you on a paper, on a passport, their citizenship. You complain about racism? I don't know, but if they are racist, okay, that's surprising. What are you doing in their country? You know, if you decide to be German, based on what you read in their history, you should love that country the same way. They give to you the citizenship. You should love that country the same, because for them to be where they are today, for you to come and benefit from what they have sweat, you should be thankful and love that country the same way. It's special, like you see, to me, that's why I say it's good to read other people's history, because you learn from them. What is it that we always complain, us Africans, we always cry. They could do the same thing. They could have done the same thing, but they're saying, you know what, no. Even when I heard the national anthem, I don't know if I can play it here, I don't know. But the first time I heard the national anthem, seriously, emotional. These people, the national anthem is just the love of the nation, the love of the fatherland. Let me see if I have it here, because I remember just, I don't know all the words, I will just be fast if they will allow me to play it here. Okay, I don't know if I can play it here. It's incredible for the German fatherland, for the German fatherland. For this, let us all strive. Brotherly with heart and hand. I don't know when this national anthem was composed, I don't know. Unity and right and freedom. It's just the pledge of happiness. So unity, right and freedom. Flourish in the fortune's blessing. Flourish, German fatherland. Flourish. It's not about, no. I mean, that's why I'm asking myself, why do we always fight each other? I don't understand. I don't understand. That was all I have to say today for this part. For me, Germany is an example of resilience, forgiveness. If you say that you have forgiven the history, why do you make some laws that are in advantage of a certain type, of a certain race or a certain tribes in your country, for example? If you say you have forgiven the history of the past, because yeah, we don't forget, that's why you have museum. So when you look the museum, you look what happened, you say it will never happen again. But if you say that you have forgiven, why do you make some laws in favor of group of people and the other one are like punished by that law? Yes, this law can be racist, this law can be tribalism, these laws can be, yeah, you have to agree. Oh yeah, but they did that to us, they did this to us. It was in the history, and history isn't always beautiful. But in history, you can turn that history, this pain of your history, for your greatness. Germany is an example. Their pain, their humiliation, they turn it to their greatness. Yeah, we don't forget what happened in the past. We don't forget that they had we don't forget that they had Hitler. We don't forget Nazism. But we admit still that it's a beautiful country with a great nation. I don't know, we always complain. But sometimes I'm asking myself, am I too rush? Am I too rough on my people when I talk sometimes? But when I look Asia, I see these people never bend to anybody. No. Asia never bend to anybody. You see this, no, look the history. I don't know. Maybe because Japan was bombed. Okay, we agree on that. But they were fighting. But first, when you see China being afraid of America one day. Chinese are not afraid of America. No. China isn't afraid of Europe. No. When you see, I don't know if it's wrong, I don't know, but I think that America lost the Vietnam War. Am I wrong? But who was Vietnam in front of America at the time? I don't know. You don't ban. I think Vietnam was first French, was under the French before. So what is it that we... No, Asia, they don't buy, they don't burn like that. I don't think they do. What is it that we, the African, we always complain? The capacity of always begging and crying and victimization. I don't understand. Maybe it's about time for us to see a little bit more. Because when I see the situation that happened between Rwanda and Congo, and I see that the African Union cannot even take a decision for decades. I've been talking about that many times in this video, in my video here now. I talk about Congo DRC every time. People, where are the people who are in charge? That's why I show you the video, the two cats fighting. And the international community is just watching us. African Union is just looking at you. That's why there are war. Our war in Africa, sometimes when you look the war, there are nothing really serious. That's why when you have leaders in Africa, no, I don't call them leaders. You have presidents and their kids, children in Africa who don't feel any pain to steal from the people. Great. I don't know. That's why next time we have a video, I will talk about Central Africa, the complexity of a mentality. I've been sitting in my country, I look the behavior, I listen to mentality. There is a lot to do. For me, after all that I'm saying today, I think Zimbabwe should be a good example to teach us all. I don't know. At the time of Mugabe, maybe we should learn from that. Okay? But when I talk about Central Africa, the great, but the complexity of the mentality of the people. Not so long ago, Paul Biya, president of Cameroon, said he will come back again to fight for presidency mandate. And the people is here. No, Central Africa is another level of witchcraft. Mamma mia, Central Africa. When I go back home, I try to listen how people think. That's why for me, you can hate me. But after I look everything, I rest my case. I say, you know what? Maybe you should go back to colonization because this is a mess. Even keeping your own stuff, you can't. Even keeping what belongs to you can, and you want someone. You see how we take care of our own businesses. For you to handle a business to your African brother, your black African brother, you are in trouble. People are accusing Elon Musk of racism, okay. But nobody said that Aliko Dangote himself hired 11,000 Indian workers. And what was the reason? He explained to that the competitive, there was a lack of something from the African workers. The competency, something was wrong. And you think that me as a billionaire, as I am Aliko Dangote, I will be just giving you the position because you are African? When I'm not sleeping every night to think about my business? If I'm Elon Musk, I will give you... I heard that he only sleeps 4 hours a day. I don't know if it's true. But to be a billionaire and to keep that up there, it's sacrifice. And I will just give you by complaint because of this. No, you have to be honest on yourself. What are the things that we did on our own we succeeded? Stop being emotional. Be practical. Me, I am Aliko Dangote. He is right. He fired them all. He put Indian workers. I am Elon Musk. I don't put black. If I'm not comfortable, I don't do. You don't force me. You don't force me on that. Or because it's not emotional, it's practical. Practical. It's the credibility of the work and my company. For me to have it, I'm not sleeping like you all. I'm always awake. I'm thinking every day. You go, you sleep, okay? You don't make my empire fall. For me to remain billionaire, worthy billionaire, is a lot of work and sweat. And I just want to give it to you on the plate. No. Too easy.